I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with, Kurt? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 Who You With, Kurt, dog. Happy Monday to everyone. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, dog. I'm Who You With, Kurt, dog. Man, every time I hear that song, I just want to give a shout out to my boy, Sean Martin, for hooking it up for me. Want to welcome y'all to the show tonight. Hopefully y'all had a great Monday. I know it's been pretty busy for me, but hey, I'm still here. I'm here. That's the most important thing. Hold on, let me get the stream right, because on Instagram, gotta line it up right. So, but thank y'all, our listeners on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, D Live, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Y'all can live chat with us in the chat room. Tonight, we're gonna continue some of the talk from last night. The case of the brother, the white guy that threatened to shoot the police officers up there, the two state troopers, and decided to lead them on a chase, but nothing happened. And for some reason, in December 2020, people don't see the difference between black laws and white laws, even though the law is supposed to be the same for all of us. But we're going to talk about a story that it was completely different. We also going to hit on the clown family. I mean, Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump. Yeah, make America great. Need to pay these folks their money. But so we're gonna hit on that tonight. So let's get it started. Welcome everyone to the show. You can live chat with us in the chat room, regardless of which platform you're on. You can definitely live chat with us. And shout out to Rashida Jones. She's the first sister to be the head of a major cable network. She's going to be the president of MSNBC. 2020 had been rough for everybody, but as we can see, there's still a lot of black girl magic going on. So shout out to her. Congratulations on that position. Going to be interesting. So what's going on, Radio Chaos in the house? How was your Monday? I know for me it was busy, but I'm here. I'm here. So that's a good thing. So welcome to all our listeners on D Live also, and on Twitch. Also, if you follow me on Facebook, on Instagram also, go to my profile, click on the link, and you can have access to some merchandise. You could use the code KurtDog and get 20% off right now. So definitely click on it and support the show. What's going on? What's up? Uh, now I come on every. Uh, all my shows start at 8 p.m. Central Time. Um, oh, you right on time. We just came on probably a minute or two ago, so we haven't started no story. So you right on time. Um, so um, we're gonna get to that video in just a minute, but also want to shout out to Virginia. They signed in law today the Breonna Taylor law that will prevent any police officer in the state of Virginia of making a no knock warrant. So shout out to them. And just like her mother said, we must not forget we still need justice for Breonna Taylor. So Cameron, you need to do what you're supposed to do, and hopefully those charges come up against those officers soon. So shout out to Virginia for being the first state to take a stand on that and eliminating no knock warrants. So shout out to them today. So what's up? Um, you said you had the opportunity of seeing the video. I would like to have your feedback. Um, if it's easy for you to call in, you can call in and give your feedback over the phone. Um, where if it's easy for you, I know it may be a lot of stuff you want to say about it. So the choice is yours. Uh, okay, you said I left a lot out. I don't know what I left out the video. I don't know. You sure you seen the same video I seen? Because I'm not sure what I left out. Bottom line is he got pulled over. They wanted him to step out the car. He didn't want to step out. Um, um, so I'm not sure what you wanted me to leave out. Are you talking about the no knock warrant? Well, the thing is, that's what Virginia have actually done. Basically, the cops cannot lie. Of course, it's when they say a no knock warrant. Okay, of course, you come in. Um, they're gonna announce themselves, but also they're gonna be ramming the door at the same time. Now, with Breonna Taylor case, they did not announce themselves. If you heard the 911 call, they had no idea who it was, none whatsoever. So, with that being said, you definitely, um, in this case, they would definitely have to identify themselves. They have to make it known before they go in. I would assume that's what it is because I'm not a policeman. We discussed that last night. I'm not an officer of the law, so I can very well be explaining it wrong. But the point of them having that in place is good for the simple fact at this point it actually um, make it a little bit more better if for protection. It'll prevent the officers from being hurt because if someone busting down your door and not announcing themselves, first thing you're gonna do is trying to protect you and your family. So yeah, uh, that was nothing I left out on that. So first that had his hand up the whole time up in the air out the door. You talking about the video you seen? Uh yeah, he had the guy by the arm and kept telling him to step out of the vehicle. If you're talking about the video I asked you to watch, um, he was asking him to step out the vehicle. He refused to. So once you refuse to do it, and the officer is giving you a command to do it, well, that becomes resisting arrest. So any other case, that's the first thing they yell out. Uh, they'll yell out, "Stop resisting," and you got 7, 8 people on your back and you can't move. And they tell me I stop resisting. How is I'm resisting if all of y'all on my back? I just seen a video a couple of weeks ago where this guy was uh I forgot what happened, but he was there and um the cops was telling him to move on, and he just walked outside his house, had his robe on, and come to find out, uh, within seconds, the cops had him on the ground. There were about 7, 8 of them on him, and they was like, "Hey, stop resisting, stop resisting." He was like, "How can I resist with all of y'all on my back? I cannot move." So, and this was a white guy. So those officers was wrong. It doesn't make a difference what color the person is. The police officers was wrong. He just stepped out his car, out his house, out his apartment, and had his robe on, and I think he had a cup of coffee or something. So yeah, but I want to know your opinion about the video from last night. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was white. He was white. And it was wrong for the way that the officer did that. The guy just stepped out. Whatever the incident that happened in that neighborhood, he just stepped out his house. And I believe he was asking what's going on. And next thing you know, he was on the ground with 7, 8 police officers on his back. And they telling him stop resisting. And he was like, "How is I'm resisting? I can't move. All of y'all are on my back." So yeah, that's the incidents we have to deal with certain police officer. Uh, who you talking about? Because I'm confused. I don't know who you talking about, but if you talking about the guy in the road, no, it was something that happened uh, at the convenience store next to him, and there was a high presence of police over there. So maybe you talking about a different situation. And it's funny how you mentioned domestic violence, because um, every day during this time, um, welcome to the show, Low Cries on Instagram. You can live chat with us in the chat room also. Um, as you talk about domestic, um, every day we hearing stories of some type of form of domestic violence. And I read a story earlier today. Um, I want to say it happened in North Carolina. A father killed the mother of his kids with the 3 kids looking. They was able to run out the house and get some help, and luckily they were safe. But um, it's crazy the time that we're in. So definitely, if somebody is dealing with domestic violence during this time, don't be afraid to ask for help. Um, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. If you have a friend, let them know what's going on to get some help and to get away. So, um, uh, okay. So you talking about a different case? Yeah, that's completely different. The one I'm talking about, it was several people outside, and this guy just walked out of his apartment, and um, as he walked out with his cup of coffee or whatever, that's when the police officers just first they told him y'all need to disperse, move along, and he asked what was going on. Next thing you know, he's on the ground, and they're talking about stop resisting. But he was like, "How can I resist? It's 7 or 8 of y'all on me. I can't move. I cannot move. I cannot move my hands or anything. Y'all are on top of me." So yeah, that's a different case you're talking about. But I still want to know your opinion about the video that you seen about the incident with the Ohio trooper last night. Um, okay. The guy in the car, and you painted a different. Uh, no, because if you seen the video I was looking at, the guy was basically they pulled them over, and the cop had him by the arm, telling him get out the car. I don't know what's different about it. Um, okay, you could call in, but I'm gonna let you know if you start to give out fake news. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off because we're not gonna put out fake information. I don't know what video you seen, for the simple fact that uh, the video was clear that cops pulled them over. They was asking him to get out the car. He refused to. He grabbed his arm. He had a gun. He talked about shooting the cops. What did I get wrong? Uh, that's another question. Like I said, you can. Uh, okay, you only really see one of the officers in the video. The body cam of the officer that was standing back behind the car, he actually had a dog. So I don't know which video you was looking at. And if the cop is telling you get out the car and you refusing to, they're gonna grab you by the arm to hold you, and they trying to get him out the car. And when the cops seen the gun right there next to him, that's when he drew his gun and told him don't touch that gun. And the guy talked about shooting both of them. So what different did you see? Radio, did you see the video? I'm curious because I maybe nah, I ain't gonna even say that, but I know what I seen. So uh, I'm trying to figure out if somebody else seen that video because I've seen it shared quite a bit today. Um, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So I'm just kind of curious. But you can call in, but I'm gonna let you know. You call in with that foolishness, I'm gonna cut you off, and be respectful. Because if you're not, I'm gonna cut you off, and come with facts. Don't come with the conspiracy stuff because we're not gonna do that. We don't do conspiracy here. So you could definitely call in and give you the opportunity to explain what you've seen because um, I don't know what you've seen and what I seen. What's the difference between it? So I'm just kind of curious about all of that. So definitely call in and uh, you could call in. We could discuss it, have an open discussion about it. But I'm gonna let you know you must be respectful and bring facts. Don't bring conspiracy. So definitely call in 972-591-3665. I'm waiting for your call. Um, but while you getting ready to call, uh, I discovered last night another incident that happened in Ohio. Um, um, Casey Goodson Jr. But I guess that's fake news too. I already know what you're gonna say. It's conspiracy coming out about this story too. But he was shot and killed by a um, police officer who just came on the task force. Now he's a veteran of the police department, but he just recently came onto that task force the Friday before, on the United States Marshal Service Fugitive Task Force, and he came on last Friday. Now, Casey Goodson Jr., 23 years old, um, that particular officer claimed he was waving a gun as he drove down the street. Now, they were serving a warrant looking for someone. Now, let me tell you how this story get kind of shaky, because when I read the story last night, the story that came out said he was mistakenly ID'd as a suspect that they was looking for. Now today, all the headlines read he was waving a gun. Now hold on, before you say it, uh, it's a lot of broken ends on that. For the simple fact, he was licensed to carry a gun. Now, unfortunately, there was no witness of this alleged incident saying that he was carrying a gun, waving a gun as he passed by the police in the car. Then on top of that, the only one that's seen this with this particular deputy, Jason Meade, was the only one that's allegedly seen him waving a gun as he drove by. Said he was driving down the street waving a gun, but no other witness seen this. Now, the problem I have with this story, he was licensed to carry, and a person that is licensed to carry understand the facts that because you are licensed to carry, you don't pull out your gun for no reason, not unless you intending to use it. And why would you pull it out with policemen around? That don't make sense. But I'm quite sure you're gonna find something in that story where you're gonna flip it and make him in the wrong. You see, that's the problem we have. So many people blame the victim and not looking at the facts of things. Because the fact is, this cop was the only one that seen it. With all these other cops around and supposedly the conversation they had, he was the only one that nobody heard him say anything. Now, once again, he was licensed to carry a gun. And that's what I was trying to explain to you last night. It's a difference between black laws and white laws. If that was a black man that told those two troopers he was going to shoot him and they seen the gun where he was reaching for it, it would have been a different story. It would have been a fact that they would have shot him, and that whole headline would have been completely different. Here's a prime example. They said he was mistaken to be a suspect that they was looking for. That was the first story that came out. Now they're saying that this guy was driving down the street waving a gun. Who in a right mind gonna be driving down the street just waving a gun? That don't make sense. And you're licensed to carry, you are legal to carry. That don't make sense. So no, I don't buy that. Um, Uh, I don't know what you mean about it, but okay. Uh, yeah, some of them don't. Some of them don't. Some of them don't think it's a big deal, but the way they describing this story, uh, Peter Tobin, U.S. Marshal for the Southern District of Ohio, said the deputy saw Goodson driving down the street waving a gun. A later release from the Columbus Division Police say that Meade saw Goodson with a gun, but did not say he was waving it. See, that story keep changing. Like I said last night, the story I seen last night said he was mistaken to be the suspect they was looking for. But this story have changed twice. Well, three times because he was the suspect, mistakenly the suspect they was looking for. Then he was waving a gun, but then they come back, he saw him with a gun. Which one is the truth? Oh, by the way, it's no body cam either, which I feel like it should be a requirement when you're doing warrants. You should have a body cam. Not only to protect the suspect, but also protect the police officers. Because then there's no question about it. A video don't lie unless you, well, sometimes a video can. Not unless you are setting it up like Trump them do and doctored the video. So yeah. Um, so I'm curious about it. What's your opinion about this? Uh, uh, to be in uniform and waking with the public, um, who believe they say about black people are all the same. Stop with the black laws and white laws coming fake news story. Well, I see you still haven't called in. Okay, but um, well, the 911 calls and are recorded and it can be reviewed if questionable. They was serving a warrant 9 times out of 10. It was done over the radio. I doubt if they called 911. So uh, uh, he was the only one that seen it. All those other officers did not see it. Even the police department said first he was waving a gun. Second, he seen him with a gun. Now, probably what happened is, and to be quite honest with you, probably what it was, he probably seen he had a firearm on his side. He get out the car, shirt tucked up a little bit. He seen it and decided to shoot. That probably what happened because he seen a black man with a gun and he did not feel like I don't answer no caller ID. So you got to do that different. Um, he um, he probably seen where he got out the car, his shirt was tucked up a little bit, and he just didn't. Uh, he didn't do it. He seen the gun. It probably wasn't even in his hand. But at the same time, what's the point? What's the point? So yeah, that's a problem. Um, Once again, that's the difference between black law and white law. And if you cannot see there's a difference between black laws and white laws, you part of the problem because black do not get treated the same as our white counterparts do. It's completely different. And that's a problem within itself. So um so yeah, it's a problem. And it's uh Well, you got to call back and you got to show call IDs because I don't know the difference. There's too many spams going on, and um, I don't trust me. I don't have time to uh, be playing on your phone. So if you calling in, don't block your number because I'm tired of getting calls about auto warrants and stuff like that. So no, um, so definitely unblock your call. Yeah, show your call ID. I don't put out person information. Trust me, I won't be calling you back. So um, no, it's a complete different when it come down to sentences. That's kind of like explain this real quick. Kind of like, for instance, for crack cocaine, they give a steeper sentence for that. Now, for cocaine, they get a flap on the wrist. Um, and I know you're gonna say, no, they don't. No, they don't. Well, let me explain something to you. You cannot make crack cocaine without cocaine, and it's a lot more black people in jail for crack cocaine than it is for cocaine. Cocaine, they'll flap them on the wrist, send them on their way. Why? Because most likely the crack cocaine gonna deal with uh, a minority person than it will regular cocaine. Now it's time to use cocaine, but the thing is, it's a different in the law. We did a show a couple of months back, and go find it. This young man, I think it was in Florida. He did a crime, but before he was sentenced, he asked the judge, "Can you sentence me like a white man?" Because he knew as a black man he was going to get the book thrown at him. So yeah, it's a different. Uh, so if you're agreeing with the sentencing issues, how can you not see the difference with the laws? How can you not see that? So um, I'm not saying all police department. Like I said, it's just like all policemen are not bad. All black folks are not bad, but there's some people that teach their kids all black folks are bad. So if we could say that about every race. It's bad in every race, but the only ones that really get highlighted are the ones, the minorities are the ones that get highlighted. Those are the ones we hear about all the time on the news. So yeah, it's it's bad on all sides. Um, okay, you say so. You're saying that in the um, hmm, in the white folks areas, no violent crimes up there, because that statement sound like you saying that there's no violent crimes in certain areas. It's violent crimes everywhere. But the news and the media, they highlight what happened in the black community. And normally in the black community, those are the ones that actually get targeted the most. Um, with the statement you said, well, black folks' neighborhood are filled with more violent crimes than most. Come on, I live and grew. Okay, that's because you don't hear about the ones all the time that happen in the uh, rich white folks area, but it's going on. That's just like um, a lot of it's more drug deals goes on in the rich white folks area than it does in the black area. But it's not highlighted. Why? Because if you have these high dollar homes and you talk about crimes in these areas, well, guess what? The value of those homes gonna go down. And once the value of those homes go down, it's like they worthless. You unpaid all this money to be in the suburbs, and it's not worth anything because you got Billy Joe over here running a meth house over here, cooking meth in over here in the pool house. So yeah, it goes on in all community. Stuff happen in every community. Only thing about it, you don't hear about it so much in the white community. That's because the news don't want to report it. They make sure it's not talked about, not unless it's an incident where they cannot get around it. But if they talked about all the crimes that goes on in a rich area, yeah, it will make a difference. How the kids underage drinking, all the underage drinking parties and stuff like that with drugs involved, and how the parents go out and buy the alcohol for them and provide the alcohol for them, and they go out and have accidents or get in trouble, and the only thing that happened to them, they get a ride home, or they go out and kill someone, uh, like the young man did in Fort Worth several years back, um, and turned around and uh, got drunk, and then they made a new law for him, influential teen, because of the way he was raised. He didn't know no better. Then he get out, go back to jail for parole violation for drinking. Then his mama and him run off to Mexico. But once again, he should have been held accountable. Whoever purchased that alcohol for him should have been held accountable. So it's violent crimes everywhere. Oh, it happens. It happened because they're not going to talk about how Susie or Billy Joe killed uh, their family member just to get the insurance money. They're not going to talk about that in the mainstream media. Yeah, they will keep that low. So yeah, it's definitely um, a difference in it. Um, it's sad to see it in any community. It's definitely sad to see it. That's in any community. You're saying not in the scale. That's because when you hear about the black crimes, okay, you in the neighborhood, so you see things that goes on. But then when you start seeing it on the news, that's the only crime you really hear about on the news. I remember years ago growing up, at one point when they had mailboxes, or no, yeah, mailboxes and newspaper stand. A couple of incidents where I can't remember if it was a mailbox or a newspaper stand, but this guy knew his father would go walking every morning at the same time. It was a newspaper stand. That's how old it was. A newspaper stand. He would go walking every morning and he would grab a newspaper. And the guy set up a bomb in that newspaper just to get the insurance money. So that's the type of stuff that you don't hardly hear about in the community. But because it was a bomb involved, they had to talk about it. So it goes on in all community, and that's what you have to understand. It is everywhere. So uh you saying is you can't say if it's true. Okay. What state are you in? Or what um I would assume you in the US, or what state are you in, or because I don't know how you wouldn't know. Because it's definitely goes on. Um Definitely goes on in our community. So if you don't if you don't know that or pay attention to it, I don't know what to tell you, because it definitely happened. As a matter of fact, you on Periscope. Go and do me a favor and hit the hearts on Periscope for me. Trying to do some big things in 2021. So go and hit the hearts for me. Um on a scale with in our community, forget the news, look at the stats, look it up, and it ain't a lie. Well, people, they kind of like during the election, um, or during this period of COVID, Trump was telling hospitals not to report the right amount of cases, for the simple fact, um, he telling people not to get tested, because it's it'll make the numbers go up. So just like crime stats, people push those numbers to make it look like it's in certain areas. I don't trust them. They'll make it look that way. Welcome to the show, T Cal. I didn't realize you stepped in. Hello, folks. Kurt Dog. I love watching your show. Is get in trouble. I get in trouble listening at work, not work friendly. A lot of that. Yeah, you might want to have some earplugs in if you're listening at work, because it can kind of get out of hand a little bit. But I try to keep it PG. I can't guarantee it, but I try. Um, um, that's once again, that's what they're gonna tell you. Um, so that's your. I'll verify that in a minute. Uh, Appreciate it. T Cal said it's all real talk. Um, uh, Hold on. So, da, 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 trying to see. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up for, because I don't want to give out false information. And so I'm about to verify and see what you're saying. Do, do, do. Okay, that's 2016. I pulled up. I was looking for 2020 just to um, make sure I had a proper year. And uh, hold on, let me go through some of these messages. Welcome to the show, Maya Mongoose. Yeah, it's a lot of them. A lot of them are scared for the simple fact that uh, a lot of them just scared when it come down to a non-Caucasian person. A lot of them get nervous. Kind of like back in the days, you would hear about you walking down the street, and if you're on the same side as a Caucasian person, that just cross the street thinking you're gonna do something with them, and now it's more wide open now. So, um, and that's that's how it is. I said, forget the news. I live the life in both communities. To say robberies, murder, guns is rapid in our community. Yes, it is. But you know how guns and drugs got to our community in the first place. We don't make guns. So back in the early days, they either dropped it off with a truck and they knew people was going to go into it, or they drove a train and parked the train on the track and left guns and drugs on there to basically destroy the black community. Now, also, I posted, I guess, last month sometime, it was a guy talking about it that was sitting in a purple KKK uniform, said, hell, we don't need to kill black folks. They doing it themselves. Look at Chicago. Only thing we got to do is put drugs and guns up on the street and they'll take care of it themselves. So just like that's the mindset that they have today, they feel like uh, our community would do it themselves. But that's why we as a people need to take a stand and stop the crimes in our neighborhood. Um, what about NYC? Um, um, Radio said that St. Louis couple with firearm acting like a couple, a damn fool, saying they were defending their property because of a protest. What happened to them? They get invited to speak at the Republican convention. Exactly. And from my understanding, because I reported on that, it was rumored that Trump was going to get them off also. He stepped in and asked the state not to press charges against them. Uh, Uh, I'm trying to get out of 2021. I'm trying to get in 2020. I mean, out of 2020. I'm trying to get in 2021. I'm just fertilizing the field right now for when 2021 come up. I'll be where I need to be. So hopefully, what's up? Go ahead and click the hearts on Periscope and make it a little bit closer. Um, Wait, let me guess where you heard this fake news about Trump, liberal media fake news. Talking about what fake news are you talking about? Where Trump was talking about getting the people off of, getting them out of that situation, that couple up in St. Louis. Um, uh, Hold on. Warrants that's new here. Like I say all the time, sometimes we may have to pull up stuff when certain stories come up and we don't have it on the book for the night. Um, uh, da, 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 da. Mark and Patricia McCloskey. Uh, they're both attorneys in a early 60. And let me see if I can find where Trump was, and they was drinking at the time, which is crazy also. Um, and they did speak at the Republican convention. So you can actually pull that up, and they did a big report on that one because they was invited to come and speak at the Republican convention. See, that's saying right there, that shows you that Trump don't give a damn about nobody but himself. So Uh, he could care less. He gonna try to win at anything necessary, by any way he can. And just because they was driving, they was protesting through their neighborhood, do not give them the right to pull a gun on some peaceful protesters. Um, and I'm looking for that story. Uh, so now I'm still looking. Bear with me. I thought I had it. Let me go through some more of these emails. I mean, statement. Oh my God. Well, for you, there is no truth to criminal justice. Just again. Well, apparently you only looking at what somebody told you or Sean Hannity you heard on there or something. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe it. Um, oh yeah. Let me see. They some Trump supporters. I'm I don't know who they are. Never heard of them. Um, exactly. I agree with you, T Cal. Uh, the facts for what? What exactly are you talking about? What facts are you looking at? Or what are you asking facts for? So, boy, you almost made me cuss. Talking about they was protecting their property. They walking down the street during a peaceful protest. So how the hell should he get them off? They committed a crime. They pointed a gun at protesters for walking down their street. Then they both was drinking. They know the law. They both were attorneys. So uh yeah, like I said, it sound like to me you one of those guys that feel like white is right and black is wrong. But that's all good. Yeah, Trump did say that. He said that in a news conference. He said that in a news conference. Maybe y'all shouldn't take no test. Well, how the hell are we supposed to know if we have COVID if we don't take a test? Matter of fact, then he said, well, maybe the hospital shouldn't be reporting it like they should. And some of them stop certain counties here in Texas stop reporting them like Trump said. So they might report once every week, every 2 weeks, or something like that. So yeah, he said that in the news. Um, okay, well, if they come through toward neighborhood like they did throughout a what? Come on now, yeah, you're a diehard Trump supporter. I'm okay with that. That's cool. Um, Radio asks, why do some conservatives let Trump do all their thinking for them? Ooh, that's going to be a whole nother show because a lot of them cannot think for themselves. They so high and mighty because he's a reality star, and they feel like whatever he say is gold. But what they fail to realize is the thing is reality have a you see all this drama on reality shows, a lot of that stuff is fake because once the cameras go off, a lot of these folks are friends, they hang out together. So yeah, uh gonna kill you and take you out your homes, etc. You would grab a gun and say I'm protected mine. They could have stood there and watched them as they passed by. They knew what they was doing. uh, Did I hear what they were saying? They probably saying Black Lives Matter. You wasn't there. I'm sure you're gonna tell me what they were saying though. I guess you heard that on whatever show you put in the chat. I'm sure you're gonna tell us what they were saying because you feel like it was true. But I didn't hear it on the news. That's kind of like Felston. During that same time, there was another attorney, and I want to say it was up in that same area. I'm not quite sure about it, but this was an older lady. Um, there was a protest going on. She decided to park her car and go and try to stop the protest and spit in this young man's face. But I guess that was fake news too. Um, the St. Louis woman clearly pointed her pistol at protester with her finger on the trigger. When they seized the gun a few days later, she took it apart and said it had no firing pin. Said, I didn't even know that part, but I did see the matter of fact, um, I did see the picture when I pulled it up a while ago. Where did it go? Um, even the oh, he talking about what they was chatting. Just so happening, it's a video. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if we can hear what they're saying. Hold on. Oh, it's playing a commercial. That sounds like some BS to me because he's an attorney and he felt threatened for his life. Talking about the gate was broken down. Come on, dude. That dude talking about just because they was chatting, he felt like he was going to be murdered in seconds. He's an attorney. He gonna say all the right things in an interview to make people feel sad for him. But the only thing he had to do was just stand on his porch. Uh, if he had, in a sense, wave at him and let him go on. Let him go on. But for some reason, Trump supporters feel like they have to enforce the law. It's lawful to protest during a peaceful protest. That's kind of like um, during I forgot. I want to say it was Breonna Taylor. Uh no, well, it was one killing. I guess there's so many happened. I want to say it was Breonna Taylor, and it was a group that came from Wisconsin, and they drove to Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. It was either Kentucky or Atlanta, or they went to Kentucky first, then to Atlanta. Well, on this route that they took, because they walked, now they had cars with them, but majority of them walked. So it took a while for them to get there, and they was coming through one state, and I did a story on it. They was coming through one state, and as they're walking down the street, these two guys come out the house. Now they walking down the road, come out the house, yelling at them, and one of them shot at them and actually shot a person because they didn't feel like they need to be on their street. It's a highway. It was a county road or whatever. It was like a back road. They was walking to protest the killing of George Floyd, and they was heading toward I want to say it was Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, either Kentucky killing or the one in Atlanta. But I want to say they hit both of them up for the protest. So the thing is, yeah, it's a lot of crazy folks out there that feel like people don't have the right to protest. We have the rights to agree and not agree. And this is one of those situations where, because you are a Trump supporter, you feel like people don't have the rights to speak their voice. And because of that, that's what caused these type of problems. Or they feel like because they're white, they're superior and they can say and do whatever in the hell they want to. But this is 2020. It's not like that anymore. It's a new time, a new day, new people. And it's not going to go down like that. So I'm a few thinking conservative, my friends here, Democrats' minds are programmed by the. How would you know? How would you know they programmed by the media? You said you don't even watch the media, so how would you know Democrat minds are programmed by the media? If you don't watch it, you don't know what's going on. So I'm just curious about that. How would you know their minds are programmed by the media? Inquiry minds want to know. Radio said that's hilarious. They make their living as personal injury lawyers. Just show you can be educated, but still capable of acting like a knucklehead. Exactly. Exactly. What? Oh, apparently, I forgot you only been tuning in for a little bit. Let me explain something real quick. I'm gonna just say it one time. I'm not gonna say it anymore. When there's a protest going on, a Black Lives Matter protest, they are peaceful. Now, let me explain something to you. Everybody that shows up to the protests may not be for the cause. Everybody that shows up for the protests may not want it to be peaceful. But because it's a Black Lives Matter protest and you get several bad apples in that seed, in that group, it make the whole protest look bad. But at the same time, Antifa, some white ring left, some other groups have got involved, and they've been arrested. If you go back and look at some of the police reports that have identified them as Antifa, they was not part of the Black Lives movement. They was there to do what they want to do to discredit Black Lives Matter. That's just like that's the reason why Blue Lives Matter was birthed after Black Lives Matter. Why? Because it was a counter action to Black Lives Matter. Oh, Black Lives Matter, well, Blue Lives Matter. So the thing is, people get upset because people saying Black Lives Matter, but at the end of the day, they may say all lives matter. Well, hell, all lives cannot matter unless it include Black lives also. And some people don't want to include that. So that's a problem within itself. So to answer the question, uh, people burning up precinct, looting and going into these stores, I won't say all of them were Black Lives Matter, because a lot of it, just like when George Floyd was murdered, he was murdered. Um, when he was murdered, when they did the protest, what happened in that situation is basically um, And it came out that some dude, I think he came out to be a fireman or something. When he went to that Target, it was video of it. He was covered up from head to toe in all black. He was covered up, went up there, broke the window, and you think some people that don't don't have access to it, you don't think they're gonna be like, oh, this window is wide open. Let me go in here and get what I want. I'm not gonna even say they got what they needed because all the TVs and stuff like that going out. Hell, how many TVs you need? Now, if somebody was going in there getting clothes and food for their kids, hey, they getting what they need. Those other ones going in there getting 4 or 5 TVs, they got what they wanted, which is not right either way it goes. Why? Because you're going to pay for it one way or another. Either you're going to get caught by the police, do time in jail, or because that's happening in your neighborhood, what's going to happen? Your taxes going to go up, your insurance going to go up, and you're going to pay for it one way or another. So yeah, so please do not put all that on Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter, they don't go out there to destroy things. Unfortunately, certain people come into the group, and that's why things like that happen. So yeah, it's not just Black Lives Matter. It's a lot of people that do wrong thing. When they have that opportunity, yeah, they will take advantage of it. You said they're a program because all dems repeat what they've been taught by liberty. Okay, first of all, where do you get your information from? Just curious, where do you get your information from? Because if you're not there to witness it for yourself, where are you getting your information from? BLM, you got to stop saying that name and organization has an agenda beyond helping Black community. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I'm Black. Black lives, my lives do matter. Apparently, you got a problem with it, but I'm a young Black man. But hey, some people get upset because they don't come up with ideas. Somebody else beat them to the punch. My thing is, I'm gonna ask you, what are you doing to make a difference? Radio said the armed mobs that showed up to counter the looting are just as dangerous. Oops. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse. Spent this stimulus check to buy that AR-15. Yeah. He's a thug. I said it. And the person that purchased it for him is a thug too. Okay, said you got to sign off, but before I do, you have got to open your mind. Okay. Black man, but take some time to let. No, I won't. Parents who were Democrat who taught me to rap are rich white people, as if Nancy Pelosi isn't worth. Okay, that's your opinion. But once again, see, first of all, when I go into the poll, I do my homework beforehand. I go in, I vote for the ones that's gonna do for my community. If they not doing for my community, I don't vote for them. I don't care if they black, white, purple, red. I don't care. Democrat, Republican, Independent. If you want my vote, you must do for my community. So yeah, it's a complete different. Um, so you cannot say all Democrats just go in the polls and vote straight Democrat. Now, in Texas, you can't even vote straight parties no more. You actually have to physically go down and hit on each name. So, uh, oh Lord, that's that fake news you're talking about. I'm sure there's probably some. I'm sure it probably is some Klansmen and Democrat and Republican, because you got to have spies on both sides to see what the other side is doing. Um, I knew I couldn't follow them anymore. Look at our community crime, unemployment, education. That's because we have poor leadership. First of all, our school teachers don't get paid enough. With everything they have to do with the kids at the schools, they don't get paid enough. A lot of school teachers have to buy their own supplies. And when you don't pay a person properly, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them not going to do what they should be doing for the kids. So the thing is, I know a lot of school teachers, a lot of great school teachers, and they do a great job. Um, Matter of fact, I have someone close to me, their first year teaching, kids coming to school with the same clothes on. Kind of find out they didn't have enough food in the home, needed clothes and shoes and stuff. And this particular teacher took up a donation, came to their friends and family and took up donation for they can provide stuff for them. For why? For the simple fact the kids don't have to worry about having proper clothes or shoes and able to eat. So yeah, that happened quite a bit. So kids have enough stress already, but um, so that's how that goes down. Okay, that's it's same on both sides, but at the same time, we cannot wait for somebody to do something for us. We have to start making that change in our household. We have to make it, got to break that cycle and let our families know, our kids know, okay, this is what we need to do. Lead them in the right direction, because um you cannot depend on a politician to run your household. That ain't gonna happen, because most politicians, let's let the truth be told, they only come around during election time. And once they come around for that, once they get voted in, they gone. You don't see them again until it's election time again. So yeah, you cannot sit around and wait for nobody. People say they want opportunities, but damn it, you got to make your own opportunities. You can't sit around and just wait and think opportunity gonna come. No, opportunity not finna knock. You got to make your own plans. So wait, you said you won't listen to them. Why not? We are sure. Okay, because I've wasted time in the past listening to certain folks, and it was all conspiracy theory. So tell me this about them. Where do I listen to them at? Tell me that part first. Uh, what do they talk about? What benefits will I get from them? I'm not going to waste time to look at stuff like that. So if it's nothing in it, I can't get time back from people uh, that actually feel like they can teach me what Trump uh, taught to me, like what Trump do, and I don't waste time on stuff like that. So tell me a little bit more about them. Uh, where can I listen to them at? Tell me that first, and then I'll tell you if I listen to them. So I need more information. Well, that's your thought. That's your thought. Um, well, that's your thought too. Okay. Okay. When did I say vote them? I say vote for the ones that's going to be best for you and your household. Even in this election, I said we got to vote the ones that is more likely to beat Trump. But at the same time, if they go in there and don't say and don't do all the things they say they're going to do, they will be a one-term president and vice president. So if they don't do it, they won't get my support next time. And I tell independent um, um, people that's trying to run independent, don't wait until 2 months before. With social media, you need to start putting your name out there now, getting people to get to know you. Don't wait until the last minute. So yeah, it's a difference. Um, okay, see, there's another problem. You got to put out facts. Um, it's people in our community that take advantage of the welfare system, but let the truth be told. And this came out years ago that there was actually a lot more poor white people that was getting more welfare than anybody else. Yeah, it's people that take advantage of the system, but there are some people that really need the system, and it's okay for them to need it and get the help. That's what our tax dollars are for. But if you're taking advantage of the system and you too lazy to go out and work, and you prefer for somebody to take care of you, no, that's not right. Now, if it's one of those situations you don't have a choice, that's completely different. So when you talk about the welfare system, yeah, that's it's people take advantage of it all the time. Matter of fact, I seen a story earlier where a woman took advantage of the unemployment during this time, about to go to jail. I want to say she was in Atlanta or something. Um, it's not just the black community. So you keep saying the black community, but you're not looking at it's people in every community that take advantage of the system. So, uh, yeah, but I'm gonna let you know if I waste my time to listen to it, and if it ain't good, I'm gonna talk about you. So if it's one of those Trump supporters trying to get me to convert over to Trumpism, nah, I'm gonna talk about you real bad. So um, I see. Uh, uh, Radio said Nixon established the Environmental Protection Agency. Now Republicans say climate change is a hoax. Mm. Parties change over time. Yes, yes, it does. Um, yeah, during this time, a lot of people are taking advantage of it, especially when they was giving out the extra $600 a week. A lot of people was making more money sitting at home than what they was doing going to work. But once again, when you have minimum wage so low and people cannot afford to live paycheck to paycheck, that's what you're gonna get. I feel like they should raise minimum wage to at least $15 an hour, And from that point, they go from raise it up to $15 an hour, and that give people a better opportunity. Because right now, here in Texas, I think the minimum wage is either 7.25 or 7.75. Let me pull it up and see. And every state is different. 7.25 is what it is in Texas, and it's been that ever since February the 24th, 2015. So at 7.25 at 40 hours a week. Now the thing is, that's not a lot of money. If you work in 40 hours, that's $290 a week, $1,160 a month. Now take it, they haven't took taxes out of that yet either. So you might, after taxes, and depends on if you have kids or not, you may clear between $900 and $1,000 a month. Now take it, we'll just round it off to $1,000 a month. Take it, $1,000 a month. Your rent can be anywhere for a 1-bedroom apartment, a decent 1-bedroom apartment. Someone actually said you can find one for like, I don't know if he said 600 or 800. I can't remember what it was. We'll just say 600. Just say 600 a month. So you got 400 left. Then you turn around if you have a car payment. Most cars, you're probably going to be paying quite a bit of money. $400 or $500 a month, depends on what type of car you got. You have, but you still got to pay for gas, insurance, still got to buy food. That's just not enough money. It's not enough. So, find them on YouTube. Okay. See, I see that going down a conspiracy rabbit hole. But we will see. I'm telling you, if it's anything like what I think it is, I'd never watch anything else that you tell me to watch, because I don't do conspiracy theory. You saying it's history or what? Because I never heard of them. I agree. Some people need help. They should get it, but whose fault is it? You didn't apply yourself. Hold on now. You don't know the situation. You have no idea of that person's situation, because it's some people that have college degrees that cannot find a job. It's people that have a decent job, but at the same time, you don't know their situation. So it's not they didn't apply themselves. Now, some people probably don't apply themselves, but I'm not going to say all of them. No, because I know some good people that have degrees that unable to find a job. Matter of fact, I think I was on Instagram yesterday. A young lady says she have either 2 or 3 college degrees, but she's having to live at home with her mom because she cannot find a job in her field that she went to school for. And she was telling people, look, you have to do what's best for you. But what she was saying is, don't waste all that money on going to school. Education is great. I'm not telling people that. You have to do what's best for you. But she was telling them, I would take up a trade, uh, get certified in certain trades, which will be much cheaper than going to school. because what she went to school for, and I don't know what it was for, but she wasn't even working in that field, but she had this student loan debt. So, which I feel like that's a whole nother subject. So, uh, trade become a professional open business. It is. Trying to make sure I didn't skip over nothing. Yeah, it if you have a everybody everybody don't have the right mind to run a business. Trump. Um, so um, but at the same time, some people don't want to run the business because it's a struggle. You have to work hard at a business to make it successful. And because some business, you could be in it for 5 to 10 years before you actually make it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Now, there are some business that taking off overnight, but then there's a lot of business. They say in the first 2 years, a lot of business fail. And if you don't have the right people working with you, it make it even harder when you're trying to do everything yourself. Because one thing about it, a lot of people, you can hire people, but because you hire people, they look at it, it's not my business. I don't care if it's a seed or not, long as I get that check. So, yeah, some people just like, hey, why deal with the stress? Some people probably have tried open a business and said, no, that's not for me. I don't have the patience for it. So, unfortunately, it's a lot of people that have great ideas they were allowed to do, and hopefully one day they could. Um, so you have an equal opportunity to succeed. Is the choice we make that decide where we end up. No, we don't. That's the lie they tell you. They say it's equal opportunity. It's not. Equal opportunity for who? Because the thing is, matter of fact, I got an alert earlier because the thing is, when you're dealing with um, certain certain things in the I don't um I'm trying to find this because I want to make sure I said the right way. Uh, Hold on real quick because I got this alert earlier about so you got to start telling me a day before I can start uh picking up some things, do the research before I wouldn't have to slow down the show to try to find stuff. But I'm trying to oh man. I don't know if it was on this website, but uh golly, I can't find it. Um but it was talking about how the banking system does in the black community, how they avoid they try to keep disqualify blacks from getting loans in certain communities, basically in the black community. So and they're having to testify about the complaints about it. So I wish I would have saved that story where I could have just went straight to it. But yeah, that's what we have to deal with, being a a minority. Now, you may not have experienced that, but trust me, that plays a big part on it. You could go in and try to get a line of credit, have A1 credit, and if they decide to give you a line of credit, even with A1 credit, that interest rate going to be still 21, 22% high with good credit. But if it was anybody else, they feel like if a black person come in, they're going to come in and raise the interest level. That's kind of like payday loans. You don't see those in the rich folks neighborhood, do you? Mm-hmm. Why you don't? Because they'll bring it to the low income area and they charge them, I think it's like 1,000% on the interest, a very high interest where you may never be able to pay it off the way they have it set up. So yeah, that's the type of stuff they do in the low income area. You see a lot of pawn shops in the low income area. You won't find them up in the rich folks area. And then on top of that, when you have certain uh, Billy Joe them trying to get the next fix and don't have access to money, well, when they steal uh, Becky jewelry, they're going to take it to the Sutton location, to the low income area and pawn it. They may have somebody pawn it for them, for they won't be caught on tape. So yeah, it's a difference. Um, let me post the link. Take a listen. Forget Trump. Like I said, I'll take a look at it, but that minute I look, if it don't catch me right off the back, I won't even pay attention to it. Put the name up again. Don't put the link. Just put the name up. I'll write it down. Well, you don't know the situation. You don't know the situation because everybody cannot just pack up and move. I don't know the situation. I just know her story from what she put on social media. You don't know the situation. But I'm sure if it was that easy, yeah, she probably would. You don't know if she have kids. I don't know if she have kids. Maybe her and the kid's father's not together and she can't leave that area. You don't know. No, don't put the link. I said put the name. Don't put the link. I don't click on links. Um, so so I don't know that situation with that young lady, but it makes sense. She's not the first one I've heard complain about it. I'm sure she won't be the last one. I know people say all the time that, man, these student loans is killing me. A lot of people gonna try to they don't have a choice because with student loan, they gonna get their money just like uh the Internal Revenue Service gonna get their money. Regardless, they're gonna get it. And that interest on student loan is high. It's people been out of school for 20 years still paying their damn student loan back and been making faithful payments. So yeah, hey, you don't know the young lady's situation. I don't either. So with that being said, I feel her. I feel her. So I don't know what her degree was in either. Um, but definitely you gotta go and figure out what's best for you. That's how you do that. Uh, uh, let me see who this is that came in. Um, Radio said there are lazy rich people too. Yeah. Uh, the spectrum of human behavior exists in all people, regardless of income. Yes, it is. Yes, it's lazy people all the way around. Because um, I went to the grocery store, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, and I've actually seen this guy driving around one of those scooters in the grocery store. He driving around. I'm like, okay, fairly. It looked like he was younger than me. Uh, but then this guy get out in the parking lot. Just so happened we walking out. Well, he came out right behind me, and I'm sitting there in my vehicle. And as I'm sitting there, I see this guy ride the scooter to the edge of the parking lot. As he ride it to the edge of the parking lot, he get off the scooter and walk to where he was going. Now the thing is with that, so you're telling me you didn't need the scooter, and then you turn around, riding around in the store in the scooter, ride it outside to the edge of the parking lot, get off and walk where you're going. That's lazy. That's that's just flat out lazy. I like Ivanka Trump giving advice to working people who job went down the tube, saying just look for something else. Amazing. Okay, I've had this debate with people. Look for something else. But if her daddy would have left the team in place, I don't think we would still be in this pandemic. Now, the thing is with that, you go out and I've heard people say this because I had debate with people. Alicia TM, welcome to the show. Listening on Instagram, you can actually live chat with us in the chat room. Also, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm M, Who You With Kurt Dog. Um, I've had discussion with people. They like, man, and some people feel that because of the way that they came out, and as long as it took them to get unemployment, and it's still a threat that we may be going back on shutdown. So the way that they got this unemployment and how long it took them to get it, and the question they asked me, they was like, if I go back to work, give up the unemployment, then we go to a shutdown again. It may take another couple of months before I get it back if we go into another shutdown. So people are scared to go back out and work with the fear that it's possible a shutdown. Here in Texas, the numbers continue to go up. And according to them, Love My Kinks, welcome to the show. I see you just came in on Instagram. You can live chat with us in the chat room. So you can in Texas, our numbers continue to go up, and because of that, we don't know. We don't know what to expect. Now, from what we was told, if the hospital capacity is up 15% for 7 straight days, we're gonna start shutting stuff down. Now, bars are closed. Um, but here it is. And I said this was going to happen. And that's why I don't trust Greg Abbott, for the simple fact he will play with those numbers. Um, he will play with those numbers, and he would make it seem like it is as he wanted to be. So for the last 2 days, the numbers have gone down just a little bit, not much, just a little bit. But at the same time, they expecting them to go up higher because, and especially this week, because now all those cases from uh, uh from Thanksgiving, they getting ready to start showing up now. So that's a problem within itself. Um, so it's definitely something that we got to pay attention to. And I understand the fear that they have. I don't think they ever talked about a plan. What if they do shut down again and people are off work and it took them 2 months to get the unemployment? Are they going to have it in place that if we go on another shutdown where they start getting it right back again? So that's something you have to think about. Um, just take a listen. No need to post if you don't want to. You're listening, but listen. That is like I said, I see. Um, Forget about the Trump angle. If you hear anything, the first link is to okay. We'll see. Um, but I don't want a lot of links up on my page. I will go through and delete it once I get off because I don't allow people to put links up. Just like if a person decide to call in, I don't want you to block your number out because I get too many spam calls already. And I've answered one that was blocked, and it was somebody talking about a car warranty. So yeah, you're gonna call in, have your number open. I don't call people back. I don't stalk them. So, um, been a good dialogue. Blessing to you. You'll be listening to see what you say about those links. Hey, I appreciate you for tuning in. Like I said, this is a platform for everybody. Even if we don't agree, it's still a platform for everybody. Um, Radio said, I know a lot of conservative people, and they don't have these extreme right wing views. Exactly. I'm able to get along with anybody. We may agree, may not agree, and that's okay. It's okay. That's if God wanted all of us to agree on everything, He would have made all of us the same. And I don't see that happening. So yeah, um, I agree with you. But everybody have their own personal views about it, and that's just not me. Um, I just I stick strictly with the facts. And people coming in want to do conspiracy theory. I don't waste time on stuff like that because even if I went on there and listened for 1 second, that's a 1 second I cannot get back. So um, I don't I don't do it. But he say it's history, and like I told him, if I go and listen to it, and if it's not my cup of tea, I'm gonna talk about them. Because if I feel like it's a conspiracy theory, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. I do listen to other shows, and I had no problem with it. So stop radio, not a stream. I've learned and listened to other train of thought. No conspiracy, just well, everybody have their own opinion. Yeah, he radio wasn't talking about you, but he said basically he knows some conservative people, and they don't think that extreme. Only ones I see that think that extreme are Trump supporters. That's all to it because they listen to whatever Trump tell them, and they think it's gold when Trump tell them, but the reality is just some painted mess, kind of like that rug he wear. His basically what it comes down to. Everything Trump tell you it's not true. Just like I would say, hey, any story I cover on here, you can you can verify it, and If I know in advance, like whatever stories I post that I'm gonna talk about that night, I normally have that story open on another page where I could just go to it and I don't have to look for it. But unfortunately, sometimes stories may come up, and if it haven't been talked about in months, it take a little bit longer to search for. So, but go back and listen to my past videos, and uh, the resources on there, and like and share the page. Tell your friends about us. Um, uh, Said I voted for Trump 2 times, but F him. He's out. Whatever, we move on. I'm a diehard conservative because I uh, guess you run out of space. Well, so it's okay to be conservative. It's okay because you remove that title, you'll bleed red just like me. You still a human being, still a child of God. It's okay not to agree with everybody, and it's okay because I came up in a hard life and made some good decision, and it worked out for me. That's okay. We all have a past. Some pasts are better than others. Some are. Um, some people don't want to talk about their past, and it's okay. I know. Hell, I got past. Um, I got some stuff happening in my past. I'm not too proud about some things I done, but at the same time, you live and learn from it. I believe in people making it on their own the best way they can. My father taught me that. Exactly. Even though my mother raised 4 kids as a single parent, she raised us to do for ourselves. Um, all of us know how to cook. We all work. We do it for ourselves. So, and that's the way it should be. She laid that foundation because my mom worked quite a bit uh, growing up, but she also made sure the street did not raise us. Because if we did something wrong when she got home that night, if we did something wrong, we was getting our ass tore up. That was all to it. And I still don't know what happened to the black belt she had. Somehow, some way it disappeared. I didn't have nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying. She made sure we got our butts whooped and had no problem with doing it. And the thing is, if one of us got in trouble, we all got in trouble. So it was that was equal opportunity right there. But when you say equal opportunity in America, nah, it's really not. It's not because um, you can have great work ethic, you can have all the education in the world you need, but it's not guaranteed you're going to get a job because they can find somebody who have less education than you and give them the job or pay them more money. Or have you training the person for a job that you should get. So yeah, it's it's not equal opportunity in America. That's what they tell you, but it's not. It's not. Um, Forget the victim mentally stuff. Push on, work hard. You can make it. Oh yeah, you can, but it's a struggle. Everybody is not up for the fight, so it's a struggle with it. Radio said, "I know people who work very hard and still struggle." Yes, I do too. I struggle, but these exist in society. Yes, it is. Right now, um, in the entertainment industry, it's a lot of people. Yeah, they work hard. They went out. Uh, what if it's acting, singing, musician? good at their craft, but because of this pandemic, it's a lot of them struggling. It's a lot of them struggling because that's their craft. And if you're unable to do your craft, it's a struggle. So yeah, it's a difference. Um, we differ greatly in politics and policing, that's for sure. And I love to debate. I actually enjoy it. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Most people that come on the show, they normally enjoy it, regardless of what their stance are. They normally enjoy it because once they get to know me as a person, they could deal with me. TCal says, sure, you don't know. Um, you're still wrong about black laws and white laws. Let me know when you want to come on the show and we really debate that, because the thing is, what you're seeing and what I'm seeing are two different things. I lived it. I lived the fact of being pulled over because of the color of my skin, or because of the type of car I was driving. They didn't feel like I can afford that type of car, or even getting pulled over because of the person I dated at that time, because they wasn't the same color as me. Um, or even just getting pulled, being outside talking with a friend in my work uniform, and the police come up harassing me. So yeah, let me know when you want to do it, because the thing is, you got to open your eyes. My eyes been open for a long time, and that happened with me and my best friend. I think we was 18 years old. So, and I've had that incident happen quite a bit. Even today, even today, I could, after I work out, I could go, because I'm so sweaty. I put a pullover on, just to keep that heat in, because it's kind of cool here, and put this pullover on. I have my mask on, and I may make a stop before I come home. And I just found one of my masks, one of my old stocking caps that um, had a mask, and well, it don't have a mask, but it pulls up like a ski mask. So, but all of this right here is open, but it'll cover my nose and mouth. And I stopped at somewhere yesterday on my way home after working out, and they looked at me like I was about to rob the place. And the cashier, see, this is me, because the cashier, when I approached the register, I heard him greet the people before me. I walk up, he just looked at me. I looked at him. I'm one of those people, if I don't get treated properly, I don't spend money there. I don't care what you have. And he seen the way I'm looking at him. Then finally he half-ass asked if he can help me. I told him that's okay. I left. But apparently you don't have that issue. So maybe it's just me. But apparently you don't have that issue where you're not stereotyped by the color of your skin. Or better yet, the low convenience stores that comes into our neighborhoods that is not owned by none of us. And then you go in there and they treat you wrong, but they want your money. So if I go to one of those locations, if I hand them my money in their hand, and if I have my hand out to get my money back and they put it on the counter, no, give me all my money back. I'm going elsewhere. If I cannot be treated properly, you don't need my money. I'm out of here. I drive a little bit further, spend my money elsewhere. So That's the difference. It happens quite a bit. So a lot of time I don't well, due to the pandemic, don't really eat out a lot. But before the pandemic, I didn't eat out a lot because I want to be treated with proper service. I don't care where I go. If I go to McDonald's, you accepting my money. I deserve the treatment. If you don't want to do your job, you shouldn't be working there. That's why I say it. I don't care who you are. It's my money. I made a choice to come here. Um, we all struggle, but people got to stop blaming the system. We have to stop blaming white people. Now, the events I talk about normally is a cut dry thing with the difference of how they treat black folks and white folks. Here it is, the last 2 nights talked about the troopers in Ohio, where this guy had a gun, nothing. Threatened to shoot them, nothing. But this guy allegedly waving a gun, or allegedly the officer saw a gun. But the first story I read, he was mistaken as the suspect they was looking for, but there's no witness. A dead person can't talk. So that's the difference. You have to look at everything. Don't look at just, oh, because he's saying it's a black, white, and no. Look at the scenario. 3 different stories that came out in the last 24 hours, which is quite a bit. They treat you unfairly. I get it. It happened, but that's life. Happens, we push on. Well, I believe in old saying, if you cannot treat me with respect, but guess what? I'm not gonna spend my money with you. I drive another mile or so down the road to spend my money elsewhere. It's my choice. It's my choice. Um, all right, yeah, we finna get out of here too. All right, duty call, gotta go until tomorrow. You gotta stop. Come on with these cops in Virginia. No, that was in Ohio. Virginia is the one that passed the Breonna Taylor law. That was Virginia, but Ohio cops are the ones I was talking about. So we're gonna keep it honest here. So you have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Though. We are on Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Sunday through Thursday. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, D Live, and you can always live chat with us. If for some reason you have a subject you want us to speak on, definitely let us know. You can email us, and we can speak on it. Sunday through Thursday, I'm here. Miss Risky is here with me on Thursday night. Kind of give me a break a little bit, but she's here with me on Thursday night. She always like to hang out with her boy on Thursday. So I really appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. And please don't be ashamed. You can chat live with us. We don't bite. So you can always chat live with us. If it's something we're talking about, or if it's something else you want us to talk about, definitely put in the chat. We will talk about other things. Just like tonight, it's a couple of things we didn't hit on that was on the books for tonight, but I guess we have to move it to tomorrow night. So until tomorrow, I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you. Be safe out there. Until then,